Good morning. Very happy to be here. I want to give a big thanks to Alana and the Food Allergy Fund for bringing everyone together here around a topic, as Dr. McCary said, is really growing into a crisis. And we don't seem to really understand at a root cause level what is driving it. We have a lot of hypotheses. But there does seem to be what I would call a valley of death between the very basic research that's going on and the commercial technologies available today. And that's really where ARPA-H plays. For those of you who aren't familiar with the ARPA model, I want to give a little bit of a background here so you can really understand where we fit in the ecosystem of innovation, not just within the federal government, but really in the private sector as well. So who here is familiar with even DARPA? Okay, quite a few people. I did have the privilege of serving there for 5 years, both as a program manager and then launching and becoming deputy director of the Biological Technologies Office. And it really is what I would say the crown jewel of the US research and innovation enterprise. It's unparalleled across the world. One of the really unique things about it is that it can take on risk and fund very large problems in a way that neither the federal government traditionally nor the private sector can take on. And I know that even more deeply, having been in both now the federal government and the private sector, especially in a place where food allergy sits right now. There's a lot of hypotheses that are very risky to go after and to put big dollars after. We tend to fund a lot of point solutions or a lot of basic research, but clearly there is something underlying all of this that we're seeing in immunology overall. And at an ARPA, whether it's a DARPA or an ARPA-H, you can start to ask the big questions, which is, what if? What if we could literally tomorrow flip a switch and reset everyone's immune system so that they don't have a food allergy, they don't have an immunology issue? Those are the really big questions that we want to go after here. ARPAs work in a very different way, and part of the reason I'm saying this to all of you is because I need your help. We need your help at ARPA. Unlike a lot of different research agencies, it's very much not top-down. I'm here, I set the direction. We want to create breakthroughs in human health that actually change the course of human health. We set big directions, defeating disease, ensuring that our children live a decade longer than their parents, and ensuring that this nation is protected against whether natural or engineered biothreats. But really, the program ideas come from our program managers. These are exceptional individuals. They can be from academia, industry, startups, even government labs where they might have worked before. The only requirements is that they are deeply technical. They have an incredible passion that they will break through a brick wall to achieve. Things that everyone else might say, oh, it's going to take too long. There's no way we're going to be able to do it. They're the people with the vision who say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring every single resource to the table. I'm going to be able to work with startups, academia, large companies, nonprofits, and make sure that we come together and put enough funding behind this and a very strong technical direction that not only can we make what seems impossible probable, but we can create an entire field, an entire community that can continue beyond us. The other unique thing about the program managers is that they're on a timeline when they come and work for us. Everyone gets about 3 years. So the day that somebody shows up, the clock starts ticking. What that means is that every day counts when you're an ARPA program manager. And it's that kind of drive when you wake up every morning and you think, what happened today? What progress did we make? Are we actually moving forward? That creates this incredible sense of urgency and enables us to truly be a time machine. We take something that we hope will happen in the next 20 or 30 years, and we ensure that it can happen within possibly the next 5 or less than 10. That's why I'm very excited to be here, because I think food allergy falls right into this category. And in order for us to go fund that, we need phenomenal program managers. If you have people in your networks, academics, who are willing to come and spend a few years here, or people from industry, or a startup founder who wants to come and literally make the biggest impact of their entire lives, not just for a startup scale or a paper, but really to drive forward an entire field, this is the place to come. Now, you have to be kind of fearless, a little bit crazy. My own experience was that when I showed up at DARPA, I started talking about this crazy thing called engineering biology, now known as synthetic biology, and everybody thought I was nuts when I showed up, and that was 15 years ago. But now when we hear it, we don't think about it as some new crazy thing off in left field. It's actually a field of science. And that's what we can do here, which is we can take these bold ideas, things that maybe don't follow medical dogma, things that seem just beyond our reach or require close collaboration between the microbiome community, between immunologists, between potentially other fields that we haven't even been thinking about, and bring them all together. Once we have that program manager, they're off to the races. They bring together the best people across the world to work on this problem, whether that be here in the US or some of the countries that we have deep collaborations with. They can choose anyone. We have incredible contracting flexibilities, unlike those in any other place in the government. It's known as other transactions. But it basically enables us to not just give money and say goodbye and hope it went to a great place, but actually to give very focused, significantly sized dollars, 10, 20, 30, 40, up to 100 or $200 million towards an area, and it allows us to manage it incredibly responsibly. We can turn that money off, we can turn it up, we can switch directions, whatever we need to do, whatever that program manager needs to do to help that community go towards a goal. One of the things I know we've been working with the Food Allergy Fund on is being able, and the Food Allergy Forum, is to be able to understand what are those key things that we need to move forward on. We're in the early days of those. We've identified broad areas. But what we need at this point is some incredible people to come into ARPA-H, to sign up and say, I want to make a huge difference here. I want to move this field forward. I want to make the future happen sooner, especially for every child today that may only be 2 or 3 and starting to suffer from these, so that by the time they're 10 or 12, this no longer has to be an issue for them and their families and wherever they go in life. I just want to close with, I'm very grateful to be leading this agency. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to go tackle giant problems like this one and work together with the community and the best researchers in the world on it. I want to work with all of you. Please come to ARPA-H. Please come talk to us, talk about the ideas, and go out into the community and also tell people about this incredible agency that if we get the right people in the door, we can make very big things happen. I've had the opportunity of working at DARPA where I myself have been able to see really things that were impossible, not only become probable, but actually go into the field, out into the world, and make a very large difference. That is what we're offering here. I'm very grateful to everyone here. Thank you, and I'd love to talk to you further.